Hello, church. Welcome to another faith-free family moment. It's good to be with you. I hope that you're experiencing God's peace as you walk through some unique times as we do. If you haven't listened to these moments last couple of days, I encourage you to go back and listen to them and kind of catch you up a little bit, but especially a couple days ago, as I talked about as a church, how are we going to face this pandemic and the issues that surround it moving forward, and I think it would be helpful for you to do that. We talked yesterday, about trials and how do we face them, and the question isn't whether we're going to face trials. Scripture testifies to that, our experience testifies to that we'll face trials. The question on the table is, will we face them in a healthy way? And when trials come, and sometimes they're surprising, or sometimes they're more slow coming and slow leaving. But some things emerge as how we face them, I think, is important. Maybe if you have children, you remember when your kids were young, they were just filled with questions. Why? Why? Every time, every question was why. Or where do babies come from? Or some of those questions that start coming up that you're just bombarded with, and as a parent you're like, oh my gosh, you don't want to answer them, and yet the child persists by asking because they don't know. They want to learn. And questions can come in our trials. We can have questions for God as to why we're facing what we're facing. Why now? You've maybe said that one. Why now? When everything else seems to be going on. Questions. And when we're stunned by the suddenness of trials and the storms, we can often be faced with them. And our questions first, right, they will reflect the hurt. They will reflect the suddenness of it all. The degree of the hurt and the grief, the confusion, the disorientation that the trial may bring. But far too often we let those questions lie dormant. And when we don't interact with them, we neglect an avenue of growth in our relationship with God. And so there's a great sacrifice when we don't lay our questions before the Lord. And in the life of a Christian, I found there's a tendency to feel ashamed that we even have questions, that we have doubts. We erroneously conclude that to have questions about and for God along the way is evidence we lack faith. But this mindset is detrimental. There's great people of faith who've often questioned God and wrestled with things. And by way of example, Psalm 13, it's a short psalm, it's loaded. Psalm of David, and listen to him. How long, O Lord, will you forget me? Forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart all the day? How long will my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Enlighten my eyes, or I will see the sleep of death. And my enemy will say, I've overcome him, and my adversaries will rejoice when I'm shaken. But when I trusted in your loving kindness, my heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. Hear the questions. How long, Lord? How long? Will you forget me? How long? Will it be forever? Listen to those questions. I mean, that might make you uncomfortable to talk to God that way. But the psalmist and others teach us that over their life, that questions are a part of their journey. There's questions Cindy and I have had over my journey with cancer and over some of the things we've faced over these last 5-6 years. And tough questions. Why? Why would we face this all of a sudden, an onslaught, one after another? The diagnosis, the metastasis to the lung, metastasis to the liver, right in the middle of when we move, kind of right when we began to move, right in the middle of a lot of different things. And Cindy's foot, and it's just one thing after another. Why? Why, God? And other questions, deeper questions, started to come out. Questions I had. Will I lose the love of my life? And what would that look like for me to leave my family with just Cindy to raise the kids? Will I get to see my daughters and walk them down the aisle? Will I get to see them get married? Will I get to see grandchildren? Will I get to see my sons graduate college or get engaged into the workforce as they discover their gifts? Questions. They're a very, very real part of my walk with God. And certain experiences are going to bring us to the place where our prayers meet our fears and our desperation. And I'm finding more and more this type of honest prayer is a real avenue to growth. Questions. They're all part of it. They're all part of our journey. Don't be afraid to take your questions to the Lord. You'll find a great avenue of growth as you do. May God richly bless you in your journey. Have a great day, everybody.